This was taken shortly after the bombing.
When Jackie Putnam arrived at King's Cross before she got on the Underground, it seemed like any other day.
The train pulled out of Edgware Road, and then we were into the tunnel, and then there was it sounded like a firework went off, a high-pitched crack. There was a flash, and in that flash I saw these tiny shards of glass flying through the air at speed, and they looked as if they'd been shot from a gun. And there was a tremendous force pushing my shoulder. The engines had stopped, but the train was still moving. I couldn't see anything because there was so much soot and dust and smoke, and it was greasy and gritty, and I heard these terrible screams coming from the carriage behind. And then the door was open, and I thought I might survive this. There's hope.
When you finally got above ground, did you believe that you were finally safe?
The shock is very odd because you do become like a zombie. I mean, I looked at my phone and it looked very familiar to me. It was my phone, but I couldn't work it. I didn't know how to work it. And I couldn't remember my daughter's names because I needed to call and say I was all right.
Jackie would regularly sit on the same carriage on her way to work, but on the morning of the 7th of July, she changed her mind. You've had 10 years to look at what role fate played in your life on that day. What conclusions have you come up with?
I don't actually feel that fate had much to do with it. I think it was random luck. I normally do travel on that particular carriage, but that day there was a young man who was staring at people, and I didn't really feel as if I wanted to be stared at. So I walked past, and he saved my life. And I'm very glad to hear that he survived.
How does the Jackie Putnam of now compare to the Jackie Putnam of 10 years ago?
I'm not the same person. I'm not. And I've said this before. The woman who stepped on the train at King's Cross is not the same woman who climbed out of the wreckage at Edgware Road. I'll never be that person again. I'm more aware of how fragile life is. Everybody thinks it won't happen to them, but it could.
How is it getting on a train?
It's not that easy, but I can do it. I can get on any train, anywhere, any line. I can even travel through Edgware Road, and every time I do, it's a victory. It's a small victory, but it's still a victory.